CLARREO is one of NASA's new Earth science missions. CLARREO, you probably want to know since we do acronyms in NASA. It stands for the Climate, Absolute Radiance and REfractivity Observatory. It's a mission to really take the next step in getting accurate, highly accurate decadal change observations that we need for climate change. How accurate is it? How well are we predicting it? And really getting that information across the infrared spectra, which is where the Earth emits its energy out to space, everything from clouds to the surface to water vapor and carbon dioxide. And then the reflected solar, which is where we reflect sunlight back to space. And the combination of the two is really what drives the Earth's climate system. So we're going to see the first full infrared and solar spectrum. And then we're also going to do radio occultation. You've got in your car, you've got a GPS you do navigation with. That same signal can interestingly be used to do incredibly accurate versions of basically temperature change in the mid-troposphere, the lower part of the atmosphere, up into the stratosphere. And CLARREO is going to launch roughly in 2017 and 2020. And so we're very excitedly waiting to get a new accuracy level of data. Well, CLARREO is different from other missions in several ways. One of the ways is that the accuracy we're achieving is factors of 2 to 10 more than anything has done in orbit before. A second way is that we're really focused on these long-term decadal change problems as opposed to individual processes like most of our NASA missions are focused on maybe soil moisture or ice sheets. We're basically much broader across the whole climate. And then the last thing we do is we do both a change in decadal change in terms of spectra themselves, which is kind of a spectral fingerprinting method, as well as our ability to act as a sort of a NIST or operational SI traceable standard in orbit that can make the rest of the climate observing system much more accurate. Well, Langley's role in CLARREO is to lead the entire mission. So everything from launch vehicles, spacecraft, instruments, science, we're the overall lead of this mission. But we can't do it alone. It's really a very broad concept. And so we have NASA Goddard involved, Goddard Institute of Space Studies, JPL involved, we've got NOAA involved. And that involvement, as well as universities like Harvard, UW, CU, is needed to get the broad expertise we need to pull this mission off. NOAA, since they're doing a lot of the operational observations for weather, those aren't really designed at the accuracy CLARREO is, but CLARREO will be able to basically help them by being a transfer standard in orbit that we can, through reference intercalibration, get the accuracy of their instruments improved and make them more useful for climate change. So NOAA's involved in that perspective, and there's also a NOAA part of CLARREO to continue the clouds and Earth's radiant energy system data and solar radiance data, things that are fundamentally related to the climate we're already measuring. Well, CLARREO's benefit to the public actually is very direct. One is much more accurate and rigorous understanding of what climate change is really occurring. So the arguments we're having now about how accurate data are will be much better posed with CLARREO in orbit, so the public and societal decision makers will know more accurately what's happening, as well as our ability to test climate model predictions more accurately. How well are the models performing so that when we try to push those predictions 20, 30, 100 years out, we have a lot more confidence and then can make better decisions on mitigating climate change, adapting to climate change, whatever the best decisions for society are.